Hi everybody, I'm back again with another video. So today I am back with a labour and delivery video. My little boy is about 12 months old now, so this isn't because I've just given birth, but I decided to do it because when I was pregnant, this is one of the videos that I would always be watching on YouTube. I think when you're pregnant with your first, you've got no idea what labour is going to be like. You've got no idea what you're getting yourself in for. So it's quite helpful to watch these videos. It makes you feel like you're a little bit more prepared for what may happen, and you don't feel so much like you are being thrown into the deep end. You have got some sort of an idea of what labour can be like. So anyway, I will just crack on with my labour and delivery story. So it all started on the 17th of February last year. I was due to be induced. I was booked, sorry, to be induced in Telford Hospital. By this point, I was already 10 days over with Jjoshua. So 12 o'clock, I went to Telford Hospital to be induced. I was given the prostaglandin gel, which is given internally. And I was told not to get my hopes up that it would work and induce me, because for a lot of women you need more than one dose for it to actually kickstart labour. So I was given that, and I was told to lie on the bed for an hour to let it sink in, and then to get up, walk around, bounce on a birthing ball, as that you're more likely to get things started if you're active, which is what I did. An hour passed, we decided to get up and go for a walk. About 2 hours in, after being induced, I started to get very mild, what I would describe as almost period type cramps. I wasn't certain that I was in labour, as they were so mild. They didn't really hurt, but I thought, oh, maybe, sorry about that noise, Josh is in the background. So I thought maybe something's kicking off, I don't know. I was then checked over again, and the midwife actually discovered that Jjoshua was back to back. So she gave me a birthing ball and told me to bounce on it, because back-to-back labours can be a lot more painful if baby doesn't move round, and the bouncing on the birthing ball would encourage him to move in the womb. So this is what I did: bouncing on the birthing ball, bouncing on the birthing ball, going for walks, bouncing on the birthing ball for hours and hours. Early evening, the contractions started to become very regular and quite intense, and to the point where if we were out in the hospital on a walk, or I was bouncing on the birthing ball, I was having to stop and breathe through the contractions. I was almost sure that I was coming into established labour at this point, because they were really quite painful. So somebody came in and checked me and informed me that I was 1 to 2 centimetres dilated, which I was just absolutely devastated. I couldn't believe that I was only 1 to 2 centimetres dilated. I was in so much pain, and I remember saying, if this is early labour, I cannot do this, because I'm in so much pain already, and I'm only 1 to 2 centimetres dilated. So my midwife sat me down, and she basically explained that because I had been induced, my body was trying to fight the fact that I was in labour. And so when your body is fighting that you're in labour, it's not controlling the pain very well, which was why my contractions felt so painful. So I decided to put it aside. There was nothing I could do. I was only in early labour, and I just had to crack on and deal with it. So I had a little pep talk with myself. I said, come on now, Rachel, man up. You haven't got a choice whether to do this or not. You have to do it now. You're here. Man up and get on with it. So that's what I did. About 9 o'clock, I was in a lot of pain. I had gone for a bath to see if the hot water helped, which it didn't. I had had paracetamol like there was no tomorrow, and basically nothing was helping the pain. So somebody came in and gave me a dose of pethidine. This was quite good. It did take the edge off the pain. It didn't get rid of the pain, it just took the edge off, which was what I needed to just get a little bit of sleep. So on off all night. I think I had about 2 hours sleep, if that, which was quite disturbed because every 5 or so minutes I was waking up to a contraction. And then I think about 4 o'clock I got given my 4th dose of pethidine, and I managed to sleep for a couple of hours, and then I woke up the next morning and I felt great. It was just so bizarre. I couldn't believe it. I was really worried because I thought maybe labour has stopped. Like, my contractions are nowhere near as painful as what they were the night before. Maybe labour has stopped. So I said to Sam, can you go and get somebody to just come and check? So that's what he did. Somebody came in and checked me over and informed me I was 4 centimetres dilated, which I couldn't believe because I thought, but I'm not really in pain. And they said that basically through the night my body had given in, accepted that I was in labour, and it had started to control the pain. So at this point I was like, I'm okay, I don't need any more pethidine, like I can do this now. I'm nearly halfway there. Come on, you can do this now. So throughout the day I was just breathing through the contractions. I was waiting for a bed on the delivery suite because I was now in established labour, and I was just breathing through them and bouncing on the birthing ball. I was okay, I was coping well. About later on that evening, somebody came in and checked me again, as I'd lost my plug, which by the way is the most disgusting thing you'll ever experience in your life. And they told me, you are 5 to 6 centimetres dilated, so we need to get you up to delivery, and we need to get you up there now, really. So I went straight up to a room in the delivery suite where they gave me some gas and air, which was helping massively. The contractions had started to get slightly worse, but nothing that I wasn't coping with. Sorry. But the gas and air was helping massively. I know a lot of people don't like it. I actually really liked it. I felt that not only did it take the edge off the pain, but it took my mind off the pain. So when I was breathing through the gas and air, I was concentrating on that rather than concentrating on the pain. So that actually helped me. So that night I decided that I was going to go and get an epidural. I had been weighing up whether to get one or not, but I thought realistically I'm going to be pushing a baby out of me tomorrow, so I need to get some sleep, and the pain is at a point where it's not allowing me to sleep. So I'm going to get an epidural, get some sleep, and hopefully I'll wake up tomorrow and I will feel a little bit more refreshed, like I have a little bit more energy to push this baby out of me. So that is what I did. Can I just note to anybody that's frightened about getting an epidural, it really doesn't hurt, and it does not make you feel like you're paralysed. I could still wiggle my toes, I could still feel my feet, I could still lift myself up and down when the midwife was examining me. So it's really not as scary as people make it out to be. You don't feel like you're paralysed, and I thought it was bloody fantastic. It took away all the pain. So, Joshua, what are you doing? Obsessed with a Hoover. So, I got the epidural at about 2 AM, and then I got some sleep and was woken up at about between 4 and 6 o'clock, where the midwife broke my waters for me. So that happened, I went back to sleep, and then I was woken up at 8 o'clock and told to lie on my side, which I thought was really strange. So through the night, baby had started to get very, very stressed out. Joshy? Baby had started to get really, really stressed out. Joshua's heartbeat was being quite erratic, so it would beat far too quickly and then it would drop and beat far too slowly, which they were getting a little bit concerned about. So they were monitoring me quite closely and figured out that Joshua got stressed the least when I was laid on my side, so that's what I had to do. I was examined and told I was 8 centimetres dilated. and I had been for an hour or so. So I was told that I would have a couple more hours of being monitored. If I didn't progress any further by then and Joshua was still getting a little bit stressed, then the birth would probably end up with a cesarean, which I was really disappointed. I just felt like I'd got so far, and then all of a sudden I wasn't going to be able to do this naturally anymore, and I just felt like I'd been cheated out this natural birth that I'd hoped for. So a couple of hours went on. I was sort of preparing myself to be going in for a cesarean, and I thought that way I'm not going to be disappointed. I don't want to get my hopes up that I'm going to be able to do this naturally, because if I can't, I'll be really upset. So a couple of hours later the doctor came in again, and he examined me and informed me that I hadn't progressed any further. Joshua had got stuck turning around in the womb and he was getting really stressed out, so the best course of action would probably be to have a cesarean.
Hello. Hi. Are you coming up? Say hello. Oh, say hello. Hi everybody. Hi everybody.
Oh, nice cuddles. So at about 10:30 I was wheeled through to theatre for that's very long, for my cesarean. Sam was with me at this point and I was really frightened. So I had the cesarean, I had a top up of the epidural, and then I was sent in for my cesarean. So I had that, and you were born at 11:03 on the 19th of February. I can vouch as well that for me the C-section really wasn't as frightening as I thought it would be, and I had these nightmares in my head of what it was going to be like, and it really wasn't like that at all. It was okay. You can't feel anything. You can feel pressure, but you can't feel pain. That's how I felt. But when Joshua did come out, he came out and he wouldn't breathe on his own. So I just was laid on this operating table, and a swarm of people came in and just covered him and were trying to basically resuscitate him because he had stopped breathing, which was really scary. And then he got wheeled off to special care because he wouldn't breathe on his own. And then what happened then? Oh, he was given a course of antibiotics because he had an infection in his blood, and then I met him at 2 o'clock, and that was that. So what I would like to say is, what you imagine labour to be like in your head is far worse than what it's actually like. You always think it's going to be so much worse than what it actually is. So don't be frightened about labour, and just go in with a completely open mind, because you really never know what's going to happen. What's the matter? So that is my labour and delivery story. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that it's helped a few of you out. I will be back again with another video very soon, so bye.